Today is October 1st, 2020. My name is Charles Suter. Next 5 or 6 minutes, I'll be presenting the topic on how to avoid regrets by playing devil's advocate. My main message is that regrets are avoided by seeking what could go wrong before acting on your impulses. Enthusiasm for a seemingly good decision can blind you to its blatant faults. The only way to protect yourself from over-optimism is to get a friend to act as your devil's advocate and allow him or her to dig into your decision and find all the realistic negative that might work against the positive gains you are expecting. My first proposition, again to repeat the obvious, before making a risky decision, consider what could go wrong. You'll only be employing a devil's advocate for risky decisions, something of major importance either to your health, your career, your relationships, or your finances. To do this, you need to define future scenarios, maybe scenarios you haven't even considered yet, and how your choices might be impacted by these various scenarios. Assess the outcomes and the likelihoods of both favorable and unfavorable scenarios. After all, the future is uncertain. So things may go according to plan or they may deviate. Most of all, you need to avoid any decision that has any significant chance or even a minor chance of catastrophic losses from which recovery would be difficult, if not impossible. If you think a pending decision has some element of risk, it probably does. And you might not have factored in all of the negativity that the decision deserves. On your own, you should spend time investigating how future scenarios might impact your pending decision, both those that are positive and those that are negative. Don't bet the house on a single decision. Don't put all your chips down on Black 21. Since most people dislike losses about twice as much as they like rewards, your pending decision should offer at least a 2-to-1 expected gain and with no possibility of a catastrophic loss. Proposition 2. Don't commit to any decision until you've completed a due diligence. When I say a decision, I mean a risky decision that may be fundamental to your life. Consider every downside as well as the upsides. Remain realistic about what could go wrong. If you have doubts, investigate more and check your calculations twice. Take your time. Don't rush into any potential risky decision without considering both the upside and the downside scenarios and their attendant outcomes. You may not be sufficiently objective to do this yourself, in which case you may need to get a friend to play the devil advocate's role. Only when you have fully considered the expected possibilities of all outcomes, including the downside, we have sufficient insight to choose wisely. Proposition 3. To ensure realism, ask someone else to play the role of devil's advocate. Pick someone who is unbiased and trustworthy to consider unforeseen what ifs. What if this happens that you're not planning on? Ask them to find everything possibly wrong with your choice, and then give sufficient attention to their unbiased findings before finally making a choice. Since people are too often biased in favor of their own short-term benefits, or cling to a myopic view of the future, one should seek a friend to act as a devil's advocate and probe deeper into the flip side of rewards, which is the potential for losses. Whatever downside prospects they find, give proper attention to them before making your final decision. Be fully informed before you choose, based on both the advantages and disadvantages of your pending decision. My final message is, unless you seek hidden problems, you may not find them until it's too late. Being too late to avoid hidden problems is the main cause of regret. Too many people jump too quickly without fully considering all the ramifications of a decision they are about to make. They make unwarranted assumptions in favor of the outcomes they seek and too often end up disappointing or worse with regret. the rule, measure twice, cut once, also applies to risky decisions. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.